Good morning. You are listening to UpReach, a morning devotional presented by the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee, to encourage you as you face the opportunities and challenges of today. Let's begin this day together with some inspiring thoughts from God's holy word. Now a certain man was sick, Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary who anointed the Lord with fragrant oil and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore the sisters sent to him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom you love is sick. When Jesus heard that, he said, This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus, so when he heard that he was sick, he stayed 2 more days in the place where he was. Then after this he said to the disciples, Let us go to Judea again. The disciples said to him, Rabbi, lately the Jews sought to stone you, and you are going there again? Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours in the day? If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But if one walks in the night, he stumbles, because the light is not in him. These things he said, and after that he said to them, Our friend Lazarus sleeps, but I go that I may wake him up. Then his disciples said, Lord, if he sleeps, he will get well. However, Jesus spoke of his death, but they thought that he was speaking about taking rest in sleep. Then Jesus said to them plainly, Lazarus is dead, and I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, that you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go to him. John chapter 11, verses 1 through 15. Delays in our life are not always easy to handle or to reconcile in our minds. Often when God does not answer our prayers in the time that we feel he should, we appoint all sorts of characteristics to God's nature that imply he does not care. Such is the case with Lazarus' sisters when Lazarus becomes ill and dies. Jesus is a close friend to Lazarus and his 2 sisters, Mary and Martha. Mary, you may recall, is the woman who comes and pours perfume on Jesus' feet. When Jesus arrives 2 days later, Martha shames him by saying, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. She implies that he does not care enough to come at the time they send for him. It is a matter of priorities for Jesus, not a lack of love. God often must delay his work in us in order to accomplish something for his purposes that can be achieved only in the delay. Jesus must allow Lazarus to die in order for the miracle that is about to take place to have its full effect. If Jesus simply heals a sick man, the impact of the miracle will not be as newsworthy as resurrecting a man who has been dead for 4 days. This is Jesus' greatest public relations act of his entire ministry. What many do not realize is that the key to the whole story is actually in the next chapter. For this reason, the people also met him, because they heard that he had done this sign. The Pharisees therefore said among themselves, You see that you are accomplishing nothing. Look, the world has gone after him. John chapter 12, verses 18 and 19. If Jesus had not raised Lazarus from the dead, there would have been no crowds to cheer him when he comes into Jerusalem riding on a donkey. God often sets the stage so that his glory is revealed through the events that he orchestrates. He does this with Moses and Pharaoh, allowing delay after delay before the ultimate release of the Israelites from Egypt. He does this with Abraham and Sarah for the promised child Isaac. God grants Sarah a baby when she is well past the age of childbearing in order to demonstrate his power. God works the same way in our lives as well. He sometimes delays the fulfillment of what we believe he calls us to do, sometimes even for years. But these delays provide the necessary preparation and greater glory that God is to receive. So, my friend, do not take these delays lightly. Do not faint as God places you in what seems to be a holding pattern. Just remember, God is at work. He alone knows the purposes for his delays. So do not give up, for these delays are for his greater glory. We simply need to remain faithful. This has been UpReach, a presentation of the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I am Kyle Bolton, the pulpit minister at Church Street. Have a blessed day.